said that single mothers, they studs because they looking for stability, and they know that us studs, we more stable, got more going for ourselves. And she also stated that.
Did you know that studies show 70% of step families go through the most struggle within their first couple of years because of this?
You gotta live with the fact that little grow up one day and scream, "You're not my dad." That's coming. The attitude, the energy, you can't discipline them the way you want to. You can't even input the way you want to input if there's too many family members involved. If the actual dad is involved and he's a good baby father, you definitely ain't got no input. You just a that live in the house for real. You could adapt them, you feel me? Make sure you get him something cool for Christmas. You're not really involved for real.
You don't think that the stepdad and the go ahead, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're not
That's
really.
her job to give you that.
I don't think people really understand the struggles of being a step parent, especially being a stepfather. I know men are supposed to be the leaders and they're supposed to be the providers of their family, but how do you lead somebody else's kids? Whether you like it or not, especially as a stepdad, you're gonna get reminded, whether it's intentional or not, that those kids aren't yours. And then you have to pay bills and take care of somebody else's kids while the baby daddy is getting a roam free of responsibility, and the only thing that he ever gets is a bashing on Facebook every now and then. And if you got kids of your own, your kids are going to get jealous. Can you imagine sitting there doing for somebody else's kids, and you're sitting here tucking them in at night and doing all this stuff, and your kids over there wondering what you're doing and why can't they be around you? And that's a loss right there, because you're gonna get blamed. And half the time these baby daddies, they get to come back around, they get to come and go in their kids' lives, and you sitting there, you don't put all this hard work and sacrifice in, and then this dude is just getting to come back whenever he feel like it. I don't know, man, it's just tough, man. Like, dating, especially in your 30s, it's just tough, because these are things that are real. And like, I try to bring this stuff up and then people get offended, like women get offended, and I'm not trying to be offensive, but these are honest things that really need to be talked about. I think our generation is starting to figure out why it's important to pick who to have kids with and stop giving up on each other so damn fast, because now it's starting to catch up to us.
You're technically just there to keep the mother company so she doesn't feel out of place. It gives her a chance to be in a relationship even though she has the baggage. I tell a lot of guys out here, when you're dealing with a step family, at least that first year, you should not even see the kids. Because before you could take on the kids, you got to make sure that you and that woman have natural chemistry. You got to think, what happens when a stepdad gets more than what he bargained for?
The second thing that I was never prepared for, I mean, I can only write it in my head, and it was nothing what I expected, is jumping into fatherhood.
Stepdad,
especially being a stepdad. It's one of the hardest relationship dynamics that I've experienced in my life, because there's no other. Here's a child that I'm responsible for now, and I would do anything for, and I love this child, but there is no other relationship where you're willing to give 100%, and if they're not reciprocating, that you're okay with it. I have to get out of my own feelings, get out of my own way of realizing that there is a time period right now, and I imagine that it's going to change eventually, but it's a time period right now where it's like, I have to love this child who doesn't show the love back.
The kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, people will make it seem like the kids hold mad weight, like that she's forever gonna love him just because they had kids together, and that's not always the truth, bro. That most of the time isn't the truth. Like 9 times out of 10, that woman do not want that father back. But if she still does, then you need to figure that out. Because if she still wants the father back, bro, you're in a losing situation. Because then he most definitely has an upper hand over you. They got kids together. She still likes him. If he really wanted to, he could probably pop in and out her life whenever he wanted to. Or he could do something sneaky. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like that's your situation, you need to assess that and figure that out. Because honestly, all of this is in the mother's hands. You know what I'm saying? She shouldn't be putting you in any situations where you really have to speak up much. You know what I'm saying? She should have had the boundaries set before even getting in a relationship. And even if it's a situation of him wanting her, that shouldn't matter because she is the one who has to put up the boundaries. But a lot of these fathers is not being fathers. So if you in a situation where the dad is barely even around, bruh, you know what I'm saying? You already winning. You with them kids every day. And they may not realize while they're young, but when they get older, bruh, they gonna know what happened. They gonna know what went on. They gonna know that you was the father figure in their life, not the man that actually produced them.
That may be for some guys, but in most situations, stepdads turn out to be permanent side dudes. She always hold on to the heart of the first dad. But in this story coming up, we have a stud who decides to be a stepdad, and she learned the hard way of what men are going through. Let's get to it.
A lady just told me that single mothers dating studs is a scam. And this came out another single mother mouth. I can't make this up. A lady just told me this, bro. Another single mother. She said that single mothers date studs because they looking for stability and they know that us studs, we more stable, got more going for ourselves. And she also stated that we go over and beyond. We do what the baby daddy never gonna do.
Studs have been known to be simps and go through the same problems as a man.
What's this going around on social media? You pregnant by a man? You was cheating on me with a man? Where did you see that? Everywhere. It's everywhere. What's that?
Yes, you're going to come in acting like a simpish man. You're going to try to buy her what she wants. You're going to do whatever she wants in the bedroom, give her whatever food she wants. You're going to try to win her over by making her feel like a princess because you're a woman and you can relate to her emotional. But as soon as a stud starts to act like a simp, you start to get treated like a simp. This is why female nature is female nature.
And that's insane to me, y'all. And that's exactly what this lady just told me. She said single mothers date studs basically because we green as fuck. We gon' listen, we put our fucking capes on and we trying to save the day. Spending our hard-earned money on another man's child. And she told me, she said we not really into women. I mean, she was like, it's obvious we had a whole kid by a man. She said, I like women, but I'm not into women as hard as y'all.
Basically saying that hypergamy is her true nature. Women are always in survival mode. And I tell men, if you look at female animals, they always get away from the herd or the pride before they go ahead and give birth. Why? Because their mindset's in an entire different world. If a woman has a child, she's thinking naturally survival.
Certain seasons, maybe I have to be a strong woman. In certain seasons, it's necessary, but I don't live in survival mode. So giving myself permission to not live in survival mode.
So whoever's going to provide the stability and provide a survival lifestyle is where she's going to gravitate towards because it's in her nature to do so. Which is why I tell a lot of dudes, if you do not have your life together, then you should just have girls you're messing with. You should never have women that you're trying to be serious with because they're going to make you accountable to things that you don't want to be accountable for because you're already getting the kitty cat. It's the same thing with studs. As long as you're part of her hypergamy, you can have her, but you can also be taken by a man who's willing to provide as well. Why? Because they're acting with you. They really want real men.
And I'm making this video to say, any stud out there that's playing stepdad, stop it right now. That child has a father. You sitting here stepping up, putting your cape on, trying to say today. The whole time, shorty only feel because you know you gonna say today. Period.
It's funny to hear a woman sound like a man and complain like a man, which just deeper embeds the woman nature that men are learning right now. This is a wake-up call to your nature so you can help learn for the future. A lot of these so-called, I'm gonna go date other women, that's starting to play out now. Because it deals with a lot of emotions and a lot of women are getting hurt the same way as men. A lot of women are going undercover as men and realizing men really go through a lot whenever trying to date women. Which is why at the end of the day, you can never go backwards when you're out chasing your dreams.
That right there, God sent that lady to me for a reason. Okay. And I want to get on here and let y'all know. It's a scam. They scamming us, bro. They don't fuck with us for real. Why you think they always cheating with me? They had a whole kid. They just like what we can do for them and they know we gonna step. So any stud out there, step stud, don't give it up.
All this does is explain female nature is always hypergamy, whether you're a man or a woman. It's all about survival.
I can't be a stepfather. That's not for me. I don't procreate with a woman that has a child. I'm not mixing genes or DNA. I could date a single mother though.
Okay, so look, what if you date a girl who doesn't have a kid? What if she wants a kid now?
If a man does have children, then he's more likely to be with a woman who does have child, especially if he has 4, because it's already relatable. And at that point, you really can't be picky.
I ain't gonna lie, I've been kind of nervous to tell this story because I didn't want y'all to cancel me, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell it anyway because it's funny as hell. So my white stepdad was come out to the school to spank me in front of the other kids. So I told the seniors he was a stranger I met online and they jumped him. So a lot of you guys know I grew up in a group home, right? I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I was bad as hell. The people that were instructed to watch over us, like the caretakers, they kind of left me alone because of the psychological mind games I would play on the staff members. I was only 10, but I was very intelligent for my age. Like I was very self-aware. I really don't know what happened once I became an adult, but as a kid, I was very smart, I promise. So one day we get this new guy. We're gonna call him Jacob because he kind of looks like that guy from Abbott Elementary. Like this, he look like that. So Jacob was one of those youth pastors that always brought God and everything and try to like force religion on people. He also had this black Mustang that he named Betsy. So Jacob kind of made it his mission to try to like convert me and like bring me to the light so I wouldn't be bad no more. The other staff members warned me to say, bro, just leave it alone. Hopefully he'll grow out of it, just let him chill. She'd be like, no, I know his heart, I can fix him, which was Jacob's first mistake because as a child I didn't have a heart. So one day I overheard Jacob telling his pasty pop church friends that once I was cured of sin, he was gonna adopt me, right? One day I'm being bad in school, I come home and my GameCube's gone. I asked Jacob, because he was the staff member that was on duty that day, so I asked him where my GameCube was, and he told me to come sit down next to him so we can have a talk. So I'm sitting next to Jacob, bro, and he's rambling on about my behavior issues and stuff like that. You know, I'm a kid, I'm not listening to anything he's saying. He started talking about how becoming a part of his family is a privilege, and if I ever want to be given that privilege, I have to change my attitude. I'm like, bro, what did I even say I want to be a part of this, bro? So he's rambling, bro, and I look next to him, bro. Tell me how this dude got a belt next to him.